Hey guys, so today we're gonna talk about like what to do when you get to the ship, like your goals and stuff, you know. So with me, I was kind of lost because I guess no one really told me exactly, or they didn't say what they meant. So I was confused, you know. In A school, our instructor would always say it, but it always confused me. She would say, "Get qualifications, get qualified, qualified, qualified." And I'm like, "What does that mean? What are you, what is she talking about?" You know. In A school, you'll see some of it though, just because you have to get qualified to stand watches. You have to stand watches, or else, well, you don't have to, but like, there might be consequences if you don't get qualified, you know? Um, so when you get to the ship, you're gonna get a sponsor. So before that, you're gonna get a sponsor. They'll contact you or whatever, and that person is gonna help you check into the ship. This is if you're only on a ship, because I don't know how it is on a shore command. So I'm only talking about a ship. So once you get to the ship or whatever, they're gonna introduce you to a lot of people, a good amount of people that have to sign a paper, and basically those people are like the head of a department or something like that, you know. So you're gonna have to go to them at some point, you know. Um, Therefore, remember those people because a lot of them are important. So qualifications. Those are like um, they're like tasks or like goals that you have to reach to basically stand watches and stuff like that. Like basically help out the ship. And just I don't know how your command will be or how your command is, but on certain ships, there will be consequences if you don't get qualified in certain things. So there's gonna be qualifications for damage control, DC, and you don't have to be a firefighter or a DC man to get qualified in that. You literally probably have to be anyone on the ship. Like in OS, me, I have to get basic DC. I already did, but it would behoove you to get that. Me trying to use these different words, man. I'm sorry, y'all. Try to get that within like the first year that you're on board. Try to get everything. And there are deadlines for qualifications. Not deadlines, but like they want you to have that qualification in a certain time frame. Um, then there's advanced damage control, whatever. And if you like that firefighting stuff, it'll be easy for you, you know? And the reason why they want you to get these qualifications, even as an OS or as a corpsman, is because everyone's gonna need to know what to do in a certain situation. You know, if a fire breaks out in your space, you're gonna need to know what to do. Actually, that's the second thing you need to do is get qualifications. The first thing is just get to know the ship. I'm not talking about the people exactly. I'm really just talking about the ship itself. From your berthing to the mess decks to the bathroom to all of your spaces. I'm talking about if you have like 10 spaces to all of your spaces to engineering spaces, all that stuff. Because you're going to need to know escape routes just in case if something was to happen, you know? And you just it will make a life a lot easier. It's gonna be harder. It's gonna be hard, like your first couple of days, your first week, maybe. Some people get it like this. Some people it takes a while. With me, it took like a week and a half, but I don't want to be there as well, you know. So definitely get to know your ship, get to know your command, get to know the area that you're gonna be in and that you're gonna be living on, possibly, you know. Know where all the bathrooms are, which is ahead. Don't say bathroom on the ship. I mean, it depends on who you say bathroom to. Some of them, they don't really care. Some of them are like, excuse me, what is that? You know? But yeah, so get to know where everything is, you know? I'm talking about from the bridge where the QMs work all the way down to, I'm guessing the engineers work all the way down there. I don't know. I've never really been down there, you know? So even I failed at that. But I know where most spaces are, and I know how to get to most spaces, you know? Because if something was to break out and they give TAC numbers on the 1MC, you're going to kind of be lost. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to front. Like, I don't know spaces by their TAC numbers. I don't even know my own space, combat, by the TAC numbers. But I know where those spaces are, you know? And sometimes they'll say the space itself, like, oh, mess decks, and then say the TAC numbers or something, you know? Obviously, if you're like, not everyone is allowed to go in a certain space. So like, I'm gonna use the undeads, which are pack seamen. I'm gonna use them for an example. So basically, I'm an OS, so I work in combat, which is CIC. the D-Seaman, I mean, I'm sorry, the Pack Seaman and like Undes or whatever, that's really a synonym for them. They're not allowed to go in our space unless they have a certain security clearance. So they're allowed to stand at the doorway, but they're not allowed to go in. I think they can go in though if they sign in a sign-in sheet or whatever. But they have to be cleared. I've personally never really witnessed any. I've never witnessed any BMs or Undes inside of combat. Never. So I don't even know if they're allowed in there. But all I know is that you have to have a certain clearance to go into certain spaces like radio and combat and yeah, there's more spaces, but it's not a lot. It's not too many. It also depends on like what kind of ship you're on too. I'm pretty sure most ships have most spaces, but in my sense, it's probably carriers probably have more spaces. You know what I mean? Because they're bigger. So yeah, definitely get to know your ship and stuff like that. Then qualifications would be next. So get qualified and as much things as you can, and you don't have to do it at a fast pace, but if you do it within like your first year on board, then it's good, you know, like. And it depends if you want to have eyes on you, if you want to be like center of attention, like yo, I'm gonna just use my name, Kelly, she gets things done fast and stuff like that, then go right ahead, like you could do it, like for real. But as you guys know in my past videos from like a year ago with Smalls, I don't like to really stand out. Like, I just like to do what I'm told, and that's it. And sometimes it makes you stand out. Sometimes, you know, you're just in the crowd because everyone else is doing it too. But definitely, like, try to get as many qualifications as you can. And the first one should be, like, messenger. Then it would be, like, your gun quals. Like, you get to shoot sometimes. It depends as well if you're on a carrier. I believe because carriers have enough people in a certain rate that only that rate stands the armed watches, whereas on smaller ships, anything that's smaller than a carrier, everyone else needs to do the OC course and stand armed watches, you know. Even it doesn't matter what your rate is, you know, you could be a yeoman doing that, standing an armed watch or get an OC spread or both. So you get your gun qualifications, and then they might put you on an ECP watch, which is like the first line of security that we have, the first defense. They check IDs, and then whoever that visitor goes all the way up to the freaking visitor, or you even, they go all the way up to the quarterdeck, and then the messenger of the watch checks IDs again. That's the second line of defense or whatever. And then they're on the ship or they're not on the ship, you know? So, yeah, that's what you do. You get your qualifications, and you pretty much go from there. And you get your ESWAS. ESWAS, I know someone that got it within like a couple months, and she just got here in like April, and she's already basically further than me on it. She's more determined though. I'm like really real talk. So yeah, do that, and you should be good. Like, I'm telling you though, get to know your space. Get to know the ship. Not people really. Like, that's by choice. 2, get qualifications. Get as many qualifications or whatever. And or you could do the minimum qualifications, you know, like, it's really your choice. Just try not to have eyes on you in a bad way, you know, because I have some people that I work with, some coworkers that have eyes on them in a bad way because a OSSN is higher than them in qualifications, like already on her ESWAS, and their second and third classes and don't even have their ESWAS yet, you know. So yeah, definitely aim, shoot for the stars. I'm gonna give you that. Shoot for the stars, and you should be good. Like, but good luck to all who has joined. Shout out to, I think it was Sherilyn. I'm sorry, I looked at your name and then that was it. But shout out to you. A shout out to everybody, for real. You guys inspire me. You guys keep me motivated, and I will keep on doing videos for you guys. My schedules got back to normal because they had me all over the place again, but I'm back to this, and I will do more videos, okay? I will definitely answer your questions, the one that inbox me on Instagram, and shout out to you as well, because for real, man, you kept me going. So much love to you guys. Follow me on Instagram or add me on Snapchat, or both, all right?